What's going on, guys? In this video we're going to be attempting to build this pit bike from the ground up, powder coat the frame, the wheels, the cases, put a bunch of different aftermarket parts on there, and pretty much just build it up for an adult to ride and then ride it along this summer. So I'm going to do a teardown video and show you guys what all I'm doing to it. Struggle. So let's see if we get lucky. Just swing on bolt. So it's the next day. We got most of it taken apart last night. We just got to finish up a little bit more. We're just gonna go and do the cases. We're gonna powder coat the cases and then disassemble the wheels, powder coat the hubs, the rims, and then slap on, I guess, all the new parts. We got throttle body, exhaust, bigger fuel line, injector, tuned ECU, stuff like that, and then just the upgraded suspension and whatnot. But for now, we're gonna get these cases taken apart. All right, I'm just gonna tilt it forward a little bit and see if that'll be enough to get it out. Of course, I'll probably not have enough room. Actually, just gonna pull it off the edge here. Grab the wrong size. Nice. Let's see if we can get off that one. Looks like we got it. Scoot it back up. Alright, last but not least, we got this one. Uh-oh. Worry about that later when the time comes. This one's pretty straightforward. Nice, even more oil coming out. on the bright side, we got all of them out. We got these red Faster Mini bling parts we're gonna put on. I think it'll look pretty sweet. So I already pre-loosened them. All right, so we got this side buttoned up with our fresh caps in there. I think it'll look pretty sweet once everything's all said and done. All right, so I was just messing around and I noticed that this piece comes separate from, I don't know the proper terms of this stuff, but this like shift shaft deal. So I'm gonna see if I can like stick this on there, because I was struggling for 15 minutes or so. And then put this piece inside the case somewhat like so, because this is what I've been struggling with, is trying to get that lined up in there. And then see if I can put the nut on the front side and then set everything on there and see if it like lines up in a sense. So maybe it'll be a little easier. Maybe. Oh, there we go. I think we got it. It's sitting right, providing that everything's somewhat lined up. Now that we got this side buttoned up, we're gonna go ahead and put on our Faster Minis dipstick. I think it looks a little bit better than this plastic junk one. And then we also got a Kickstart Eliminator cap. This will match the other side, so I think it'll look pretty trick when it's all said and done, I guess. And then this cap just slides on. We'll remove this little pin. Perfect. And then, so I know it's a real tiny Allen key. Don't know what size off the top of my head, but let's see. Nope, smaller than that. It's gonna be what is this? 2.5? Let's see. Yep, 2.5. So, any of you guys are putting one on. Snug this down so it don't fall off. Perfect. All right, so the motor is complete. We got the case on, the dipstick. I guess this side's done. So now we really just got to do the frame and then the wiring harness of all this nonsense. So a little sneak peek with everything. Powder coated all myself, so just went a black frame, black lowers on the forks. They came black, but they were getting chipped up and stuff, so I just redid them black while I redid everything else. Black brake rod, black triples, very plain and simple. And then the CRF110's extended brake lever was already black, but I made it a gloss black instead of like that satin finish. And then I did a bunch of the small little miscellaneous stuff. Still got to do the swing arm and the hubs. I did those. I just got to do them red now. And then we did the rims black. So I think it'll look pretty sweet. But I guess the main focus now is going to be this frame. Got to put the bushings, or the bearings in there for the races and triple clamps and whatnot. And then I guess start the wiring harness, which I took 0 pictures and 0 videos, and I don't have the slightest clue on how it goes back together. So if it goes back together wrong and you guys spot that in the video, just keep on watching, I guess. I don't know. So I suppose we get to it and try it out. All right, I'm kind of at a standstill until I get the front half of my airbox. Long story short, there was some unwanted visitors hiding in there. I'll pop up a clip of what that looked like. I ordered an entirely new one, and I'm waiting for that to come. So in the meantime, we'll do these triple clamp bearings. For the most part, they're relatively simple. You just pop them in, top and bottom, and then just slide the bearings onto the actual triple clamp itself and bolt it up. Relatively simple. So we're gonna do that in the meantime while I wait for the front half of my airbox to come in. So TB, I don't even know what they are. They're just like the stiffer dampening ones. I just replaced the fork seals in them. So we got the powder coated lowers, and then like I don't even know what kind of coating this is on the top, but it's an all black fork. I think it'll look pretty sweet. So try and rummage these in there. I'm sure they're gonna fight me every which way. There we go. And I usually put the cap straight level with them, if that makes sense. Let's bring you guys up close. Put the cap level with the top of the fork like that on both sides. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side, and then let's loosen these up. This one's going in a lot easier. Perfect. All right, so my phone ran out of battery, or ran out of storage, sorry. So we're gonna use the camera. I've never used it before for videos, so I guess we're gonna just see what it's like. I don't know if the quality is gonna be any better or any worse, but we're gonna put on our throttle tube, cables, whatnot, all that jazz. Like I told you guys earlier, I put on these, if it'll focus, I put on these red and black, like, I don't even know, like sleeving. I did that on all my other stuff. You guys can see. It's probably not going to focus. There we go. Did that on like all the cables and whatnot. So I think it'll be kind of a sleek touch. We're gonna see how it looks. I did the throttle cables all the way down. So these are relatively easy. It's just 2 Phillips. All right, so I got everything put back together for the most part. As you can see, flip you guys around. As you can see, all the wiring harness is in. I didn't record any of it because I was going back and forth on my phone looking at pictures and stuff, see how it was all routed. I want to say for the most part this is somewhat accurate. I don't have the slightest clue. I don't know. I put everything on. The bars don't get hung up any which way. It's smooth all the way around. No cables are like tight or stretched. So I think that's right. I don't know. We're about to see. The only thing I got to do is put on the front half of the air box. If you guys can see. And then the plastics. I got to bolt up the tank, but before I did any of that, I wanted to throw the exhaust on, make sure it fires up, make sure it revs out, make sure nothing's getting hung up when I turn the bars and it, you know, revs out or anything, just to make sure it's running right. I also did replace the timing chain when I had the motor out, so I want to make sure that's somewhat top dead center, you know. So I think what I'm going to do next is put the exhaust on, and then I guess just fire it up, fill it with oil, and see if it runs. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to fill you guys in a little bit because I wasn't recording for the last little bit on the wiring. I did put the rear shock in. I just kind of set it up in there. I didn't tighten anything down. I powder coated the actual spring, if it's focusing. I think it'll look pretty trick. I don't know. I've been doing all the powder coat in-house. Haven't brought anything out to anywhere, so all the powder coat work you see, I did everything myself. But yeah, I just got the wheels left and the swing arm left. I got a powder coat, but I'm going back and forth trying to, you know, work on other people's projects, my projects and whatnot. So I think it'll look pretty sick when it's all done. A little sneak peek of the graphics. It's got like a glitter metallic flake stuff in it. I think it'll look pretty sweet when it's all done. So we're about to put the exhaust on and fire it up and see if it's running. Alright, so it's been a couple days. We just finished up the build. It took a little bit longer than I thought. It was like start to finish, like 4 weeks waiting on parts, powder coating it, and just finishing up other stuff. But we finally got it done. So here's the finished product.